Welcome to episode 6 of Knitting at the Creek podcast. My name is Ashley, and I am coming to you from our farm in southwest Missouri, where I live with my husband and our 2 boys. You can find me on Instagram at Spur Creek Farm, or you could email me at spurcreekfarm.mo@gmail.com. It's been a little bit since I podcasted. I had every intention of podcasting earlier, but our family has been through the ringer with illnesses this fall. Not even this fall, just like in the past 3 to 4 weeks, I guess. Yeah, it's been rough. Included some hospital stays. But thankfully, everyone seems to be doing okay at this point. I guess I should show you what I'm wearing. This is my Wild Horse sweater. Let's see if I can podcast. If you notice, I'm podcasting someplace different. I have my Harry Potter tree up. Let's see if I can show you. It's a fancy Harry Potter tree. It's not like overtly Harry Potter. But fun fact, I have never had as I can figure out how to get this fixed, I've never had a themed tree since I've been married. And I told my husband, I said, I want the tree in our bedroom to be themed. And he's like, okay, well, what do you want? What do you want done? And I said, Harry Potter. So that's what we did. So still is a work in progress, but I just thought I would podcast here on the floor. So anyway, this is the Wild Horse sweater by Caitlin Hunter. This is not knit to gauge. I had a major problem. I have a white tank underneath it. Probably should have worn something a little bit different, but that's okay. I really, really, really like this sweater. I didn't think I would because of the baubles, but I really love it. I love the color of it. This is in my own hand-dyed yarn in my whiskey colorway or copper. I don't even know. I have named so many yarns, but it's a really pretty, it's also covered in dog hair. And also my dogs are just on the other side of the camera. So if they mosey on over here, you'll get to meet them. I knit this last year, I believe, and I had the worst time trying to get gauge. I did multiple gauge swatches, and I don't, unless I just completely did my math wrong. This is, I don't even remember what size I knit. Let's see if I can find it. Wait, is it the Wild Horse? Let me see if I can find it. Anyway, I think I've talked about this before. The White Horse sweater by Caitlin Hunter. I used, let's see. I made the size large, which should have been a 44-inch bust, because you're supposed to have, I don't remember how much ease you're supposed to have, but you're supposed to have quite a bit of ease. And I have a 38 to 40-inch bust, and I wanted it to look really oversized. But so I think my gauge is fine, like my stitch gauge, but would that be my row gauge? My row gauge is way too long. So this part isn't necessarily supposed to come all the way down here. I think it's supposed to hit like right here. And mine just didn't. And did I gauge in I did not gauge in the lace work. Maybe that's what I should have done, but I don't know if I could have figured it out. I don't know, but I modified it. And it went into timeout I casted this on April of 2022, and I did not finish it until last year. So it's set in timeout for a good probably year before I finished it. And I just did my own like decreases on the sleeve. I just kind of winged it. And it turned out fine. So I like it. I like how it's oversized. It's not very long, but it's still, you know, I like oversized stuff. So anyway, that's what I'm wearing. I only have one finished object today, and that is my Halloween socks that I showed you guys last time that I was going to cast on. Calling these my Halloween stripy socks. Now these have been worn because I finished them on Halloween and I needed to wear them. So I did not block them or wait to show you guys, but so these are this is knit out of Nomadic yarns in the Ichabod colorway. I did let's see, I used US size 1 DPNs. All of my needles are Chow Goo, and I cast on 60 stitches. I did a 2x1 rib for the cuff, and I don't really know what happened. If you can see how the edge kind of flares out a little bit. I've never knit a pair of socks that it's done that, so I don't know if I just wasn't thinking and just cast on super loose. They're top down socks. So yeah, I don't really know what I did. Look, it's already pilling. That 2-ply sock yarn just pills really bad, I found, but I like it. I feel like it's a sturdier yarn. As far as the heel goes, I did a forethought heel and I did knit these 2 at a time. And what else did I do? I've had a few people ask what I do for my vanilla sock, and it's pretty easy. I don't think I even have it written down. It's just kind of from memory. But I kind of match. These don't quite match. I think they're a stripe off. But I just went, you know, I would do 5 stripes, and I just would go until I liked the size on my leg. I like a fairly long leg. I did the forethought heel, so I just put in like a waist yarn and then went back and did the heel. I don't even remember. I think I decreased every other round to, I think 12, 10, probably 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 10. Not my favorite heel. I don't know if I will continue to do my stripy socks like that. They're just not my favorite. But I typically cast on 64 stitches, but I did go down to 60 stitches, and that seemed to work better for the fit of these because I was having some issues with my socks being really big. And then I just did Kitchener stitch for the toe. Yeah, super simple. Really like them. Color's really, really pretty. I wore them over leggings with some black boots for Halloween, and we went up to our church's trunk or treat, and it was cute. So that's all I really have to say about those. I did cast these on 1st of October, and like I said, I casted them off bound them off on Halloween on the 31st. So I really like those. So yeah, that's all I have for finished objects. I have done a lot of knitting, but I've also done a lot of caretaking for my family. So I haven't had a whole lot of knitting. My husband was in the hospital. He actually had kidney stones that were just way too big for him to handle. So he was in the hospital for 2 or 3 days. And I really thought I brought several projects up there, and I really thought I would have time to knit and finish some stuff, but just with having to constantly get up and go and move and do different procedures and go to different parts of the hospital, I did not get a whole lot done. So but that's okay. Recently I've had time to sit and knit, which has been nice. Okay, this is, so first work in progress is I'm calling it my crazy Zauberball muscle burrow. And I've actually been working on this quite a bit. I love it. I'm a little concerned about the size, but every time I knit this pattern, I'm concerned about the size until I get it done and see it. I tried yesterday to put it on the cable, and I could not. The stitches, I guess because it's maybe a 2-ply yarn, I'm not real sure, but I could not get it to move freely and couldn't really try it on. So I could put it on I'm doing 16-inch circulars, so I could put it on a bigger cord cable and try it on, but I'm just gonna knit it, and even if it doesn't fit me, I will find someone that it'll fit. So, but I love this yarn, how this yarn is working up. I'm a sucker for like hand spun type yarn, and this is very much reminiscent of that. I don't know if you can see the colors. It's so fun. It's really fun. I am knitting the, I didn't even put it down what size I'm knitting. I don't think there's a size, but I think my gauge was, so I have the old pattern. She has updated it. I'm pretty sure my gauge was 8.5 stitches. And so if you haven't knit this before, you basically just start before you decide what pattern or what size you want to make. So you'll get your yarn. You can use, I think, anything up to possibly a DK, maybe a worsted. I'm not really sure, and then you'll just kind of guess or take an educated guess on what needles you want to use. So this is definitely a fingering, but kind of probably a thicker fingering. So I went with a US 2, and I really like, so you can knit and just kind of look at your fabric and make sure that you like it. And then once you get to where you can measure about 1 inch, you'll measure, and then you'll match your gauge up with a chart that she has in the pattern, and that will give you the amount of stitches that you need to increase to, and then your decreases at the end. So again, this is a really popular pattern, but if you haven't knit it, it starts here. You make this really, really long tube, you decrease, and then you fold the hat in itself, and then you can even like roll the brim up and stuff. So, but I'm loving it. This, like I said, is the crazy Zauberball. This is sorry, I have something in my eye. This is the yarn. I'm probably going to have to order another one. I think they have dye lots. Look at me. I don't even have the thing anymore. Fun. But I don't know if I would be, as long as I got the same colorway. It's the 2528, not even going to try to pronounce the name of it. But I definitely think I'm going to have to order another one of these. And then if the dye lot doesn't match, I think that's fine, because it's, very, very variegated. So I think I'm going to really like this. Hopefully it won't take me forever to finish, because sometimes when you get, to that like halfway point of the muscle burrow, you're done. And if I'm not saying that right, oh well, it's fine. It's fine. This is being held in oh wait, did I have a stitch marker on that? I did. I put one of my Lock and Lou stitch markers. I got this last year, and it's a little hand-painted ornament. I love that. I wish so bad that I could do these little like miniature crafts, but I can't. It's kind of like knitting with the 9-inch circulars. I can't do the little things. It's just, I need a big piece of paper and a big paintbrush, and I'm good. But the teeny little detail things are what gets me. I think that's why I don't like cables. I like lace though. That's kind of detailed. Anyway, this is, again, You guys have heard this several times. This is a bag by Olivia of This Handmade Life. One of my favorites. Okay, next is, I had not started these last time. And, oh, I did finish. I have one done. This is, so I told you guys last time I podcasted, I joined the Freckled Whimsy yarn club. It's her year-long club. So I'm pretty sure it continues like until I cancel it. But this is, I joined in September, so I got October was my first month. So this is October's colorway, and this is the, what is this called? The Great Pumpkin Patch. These are the prettiest socks I have ever made. The colors, there's like, how many stripes are there? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12, I think. Yeah, 12. And they came with this little mini that is not showing up accurately at all. There we go. Definitely more green. More of a teal green color. Very, very, very pretty. So, these socks are supposed to be for a gift. I highly doubt she watches this, but anyway, these are a gift for someone. They have the same size foot as I do, so I did the exact same thing that I always do. I even cast on, I'm using magic loop for these. I had missed my magic loops, so we went back to magic loop. I did 64 stitches, 2 by 2 rib in US 1 needles, and they are small. I don't know what I did. Typically for my foot, I do 55 to 60 stitches on the foot. And I just kept trying them on, and they were too short. So I went up to 68 stitches. 68 rounds, sorry, for the foot. I don't even think I didn't try these on after I finished them. I finished them 2 nights ago, when one of my other children got the plague, and so lovely. So I don't know. I don't know. This yarn is what is this yarn? It has been ripped. It is a 85-15 superwash merino nylon, 437 yards, 4 ply. So it's a little bit thinner of a fingering weight yarn, but I've still knit socks in yarn like this. I don't know if I was just knitting really tight. It doesn't look like it. It looks like my gauge matches, some of these other socks, but oh well. So that all being said, they're a little tight to get on my foot. So I'm going to block them and then see how they feel on my foot. And then maybe they'll go be a gift. Because I don't want to give anything that's, that someone has to fight to get on their foot. I don't want that. I went back to my heel flap and gusset. I follow no, I don't follow anything. I was going to say I follow the Hermione's everyday sock pattern, but she does an Eye of Partridge heel. So this is just my whole, I am blanking on what this is called. Slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. And I was supposed to do the cuff in this color, and I just wanted to cast this on, so I completely forgot what I was doing. But I did do the toes, which is fine because I don't know if I would have had enough to do cuffs, toes, and heels in that. Another lock and loose stitch marker, this one in a pumpkin. Where am I at? Right there. So cute. I love it. So I'm still working on that. Got this one done. I need to cast on the other one. These went super fast. When did I cast these on? I guess not super fast. I casted these on 10/5, but I didn't work on them. This is what I worked on in the hospital. This is what I took. So I didn't work on them a whole lot, but I feel like they're going really quickly because I love watching the stripes work up. I just think they're really cool. Again, an Olivia bag. This is one I got last year at Christmas. And then I went to kind of switch out my bags to Christmas stuff this past week and realized I don't have a lot of Christmas bags. And so Olivia must have heard me, and this just happened to get into my cart. I have no self-control, and I do not care. This is, she put a little snowflake charm. You just can't get any better. And in here, I have a very fall project that I would really like to get finished. My goal was to have them done by the end of November. So I'm still good. There is a fly. If you guys see a fly, it's cold here. We're starting to get freezes and frosts, and we live on a farm, and so all the flies are like warmth, and they come in my house, and it's just aggravating. This is my spooky Hermione's Everyday Sock in my own hand-dyed yarn that I did. I had an update a couple months ago, and sorry, my kids are texting me. I record on my phone. Okay, I've lost my train of thought. Hermione's Everyday Sock in my own hand-dyed yarn in pumpkin spice, and I just had a little green mini in my stash. And I have a couple other like kind of these orangey green themed socks, but I liked this one because it has more pinks and purples in it. The other ones were just very orange, if you can, yeah, you can kind of see. I love this pattern. It's my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite to make. And her heel flap and gusset. See the Eye of Partridge heel. Super fun. Actually, I don't think the last time I made these, I didn't do her heel. So that's the first time I've done that. And then my toe, I did a rounded toe. Like so. Oh, that was the other question I had. My rounded toes. So I knit. I decrease every other round for my toes to half the stitch number in my pattern. So if I'm doing a 64 stitch, I'm going to decrease to 32 stitches. So if you are doing magic loop, you'll have 16 stitches on each needle. And then I will, excuse me, and then I will decrease every round to half of that. So I will have 16 stitches total, so 8 on each heel, or 8 on each needle, and then I'll just Kitchener. And I feel like that gives it just more of a rounded look. If I continued on, well, these socks, if I continued on to do it every other round, I feel like you're going to get more of like a pointy toe. To me, this is more round. So that's what I do. That was the other question I had, and I wanted to address that. So there's one done. I have this much on the other one, so I'm almost ready to start the heel. I think, yeah, I'm almost ready. This is what I've been working on at night when we sit down, because I really, really, really want to get these done. I'd like to have them before we're going on vacation to visit my family in North Carolina. I'm so excited. We leave in a week, I think. So my goal is to get these done this week. Now, if everyone stays healthy, I can probably do that. I have this little pumpkin progress keeper. Let's get that out of the way. That I made just out of some beads that we got from our local bead store. So, Hermione's Everyday Sock. That's all I have on the needle. No, I have the hat. I was going to say, all I have is socks. But, and then it's the inside of the bag. She keeps making them and keeps having updates. And I keep having to take Instagram off my phone so I don't purchase everything. Okay. All right. So this is a new cast on. I'm going to open up my tablet because I haven't even created a page for it. But in my little knitting journal, this is in a bag. You know what? I have, and there's not, is there a tag? Yes, there is a tag. Kitchen Clutter. This is a wax canvas bag that I have had for years. It's got my little knitting bag swag on there. This is my, like, when I travel bag, I take it because it's very sturdy. I don't have to worry about it getting wet or messed up because it's got that wax canvas. So I have this in here because I am planning on taking this on vacation when we go. But this is the Owl Slipover. And I do not have the pattern printed. So I'm going to insert a picture right here. And this is by Petite Knit. It is a DK weight vest or slipover. I can't say I've never had a vest because I am a child of the 80s and 90s, and my mother really, really liked to put us in vests. But those vests were like carpet material and, like, you know, buttoned at the worst area, like right here. And then they had like the shiny sateen crepe. I don't even know what kind of fabric that was on the back. And then some of them had like the little, you know, tightener thing, adjuster strap in the back. Is it just me, or did your mom do that to you also? Oh, and can't forget the frilly socks. Yeah, we did that in a little, okay. Anyway, I'm making a cooler version of that. I have a few skirts and some wide leg pants that I thought with a little long sleeve kind of fitted tee underneath, this would be really, really, really cute. And I had just enough yarn left over from the update that I did. I have three of these. This is my, what color is this? Owl? Did I save the thing? I didn't. I don't know what color it is. It's like it's coming across way too purple. There, that's better. It's like a taupey browns, neutral, very neutral, but it has some darker spots in it. So it is speckled, but it's speckled with the same color. Not the same color. What am I trying to say? Oh, like it's monochromatic. So same color scheme. I wish it wasn't showing up so purple. There we go. Just put everything against Christmas tree. It works. So that's what I'm making. I have not made it very far. I actually have not pulled this out of my bag since Halloween, probably a couple weeks before that. Because I don't like to purl. And I wasn't even thinking when I found this pattern, because that's really all it is. Is it a fisherman rib? I don't think it's a fisherman rib, but it's like a broken rib type thing. And of course you're going to have to purl. So this is all I have. I'm making the size. Let me tell you what size I'm making. You know what? Do I even know what size I'm making? I'm making the size large is what I'm making. So that would give me a 41¼ inch bust. Yes. So then that gives me about 2 or so inches of positive ease. And I think that would be fine, because I don't want anything that's, you know, I want the tank underneath to be tight, or the tee underneath to be tight, but I don't want this to be tight. I want this, but I don't want it as oversized as this sucker. It is kind of oversized, isn't it? That's right. But I'm making decent progress. My gauges, I did a gauge swatch and it's the same. This is a Halloween stitch marker. I need to switch it out, but Guys, this is from Lock and Lou, and this is her. Oh, don't be blurry, don't be blurry. This is her. There we go. Sanderson Sisters, Hocus Pocus, the book, the spell book. And it came like 2 or 3 days before Halloween. And so I think I'm just going to keep it on here because this is my favorite stitch marker of all time. I love Halloween and I like all the nostalgic Halloween movies, and I think that's so cute. So haven't made too much progress, but this is going to be one of my travel patterns because if it's one of my only projects that I take, I'll be forced to work on it. So there's that. And that's all. I've done a couple rows on my, a couple of my scrappy projects, but not enough to share yet. I'd like to get a couple more rows of color in there before I show you. But now that it's winter, I've definitely been pulling it out. It's not winter, it's fall. You know what I mean. I've been pulling it out and working on it, especially on the times where I'm just over socks, because I have knit a lot of socks recently. But I still need something simple. I think that's why I've pulled that muscle burrow back out, because I really enjoy it. I do have another shawl project that you guys have seen, that Pagona shawl, that I am probably gonna frog. I really loved the pattern when I first picked it out, and now I'm kind of like, will I wear that? And I have another idea for the yarn, so I'm probably gonna frog that. Which is kind of sad, because then that'll be like I've restarted it multiple times because I can't follow directions. But anyway, before I go, I've got a couple of new, is it acquisitions? Is that what it's called? And then I do have a little announcement at the end. So first is my November Freckled Whimsy yarn. Guys, I am so glad that I was able to snag one of these memberships or whatever, because I love it. It is, oh, that's so pretty. This is called Whimsey, and it looks like it has just as much or just as many stripes as the October one did. And it's got this real pretty chocolate brown mini with it. I love it. I cannot wait to cast these on. But I have to get, my goal is to get those 2 socks done. And then I have this, and I have my other Luna's Shoes socks that I showed you last podcast. I believe I showed you last podcast, but I have 2 more socks that I want to cast on. I'm not going, I say this, I'm probably not going to be knitting Christmas socks this year or anything Christmas themed. I think that's what I've decided, because, well, I'll get to that in just a minute. But anyway, okay. Then I purchased Naughty Pine. She always sells out so fast, and I'm always just way too late, but I was able to snag this one. I was hoping to get her, it was a Halloween yarn. I think it was a Hocus Pocus or something yarn. I was hoping to get that, but it sold out. But this was pretty similar to what I was looking for. This is her 80/20 fingering weight. It's called Winter is Coming. It's kind of blowing it out a little bit. It's definitely more, it's got pinks and peaches and teals like this, and then the mini is a really dark teal foresty green. I'm so excited. So if I knit Christmas socks, it'll be these, because I don't want overtly Christmas socks, because I don't wear them. I find that I wear much more muted tones, and a lot of my Christmas socks that I've done are like brighter, kind of just colors that don't really go with my wardrobe because I don't wear Christmas themed stuff. I say that. I have a lot of Christmas sweatshirts. But still, it just doesn't, they just don't, they're just very overtly Christmas, and it's just not me. So, I'm more wintry themed, I think. And it's kind of the same thing for the Halloween socks. You know, I wore these a day. I may wear them a couple times next year, you know, before Halloween. It wasn't cold enough to wear winter socks this October here. So I just really think from now on, with the occasional, you know, super fun color, just kind of like a palette cleanser, I think I'm just going to knit socks that I know that I'm going to wear all year long and the entire time, you know? So this will be, if I cast on Christmas socks, these will be it. I'm kind of waiting to see what my Freckled Whimsy December yarn is. But I still think these will be my Christmas socks. Christmas socks. Okay. So, oh, the other thing. I love her yarn so much. And I have been trying to get an advent. We tried last year and we tried this year, and we're not on our, so neither of us have, my husband and I don't have alerts on our phones for social media. If we want to go check something, we have to go into the app and open it and look. We don't get, you know, we turn off all of our notifications for all of the apps. So things aren't coming through. And so we'll just forget that, you know, updates are happening. I know on, you know, the stories, you can like alert yourself to, you know, all of the things, and we've just missed it. But she dyed 20 extra, and she announced it on, I think it was this Tuesday. So I sent it to my husband and I was like, you feel like trying one more time? And we were and it was supposed to go live yesterday, and we were sitting, it had been live for about an hour, maybe not that long, maybe 30, 45 minutes. And I was sitting at the shop with my husband in his office, and I said, oh no, did you happen to get an advent? And he's like, oh crap, no. And he got on there and was able to get one. I think he bought the last one. So now I've dyed myself an advent, but it's not the same. I will have my very first official advent. I will probably never do it again because they are kind of pricey, but yeah. So I will have a Naughty Pine advent, and I'm really excited about it because I love her colorways. I think she has an eye for color, very much my style. She does great. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, I think that's all except for, okay, I'm going to be doing Vlogmas this year. I do not know what I'm doing. I do not know what it's going to look like. I anticipate doing it every day, but I may not post every day. We live very out in the sticks. Our internet is not the best on some days. So I may have to like batch upload, you know, 2, maybe 3 episodes a day. And so you guys can catch up. But my goal is to have an episode every day. Probably not on the weekends, or I may combine those and release them on Monday. So Mondays might be a bigger or a longer episode. All of that to say, as long as my family stays healthy. Which at this point, I think we've had about all of the things that we can get. Knock on wood. So yeah, so I'm excited for that. I want to get a little, like handheld tripod thingy, you know, all of those fun influencer stuff that I don't have. But yeah, so I'm really excited, and I hope you guys will join me and watch. And if you guys have any suggestions down below, or leave them down below, suggestions of other Vlogmases that you guys like, your must-haves, the ones you don't miss. For me, it is Amber of A Lovely Yarn for sure. She's my favorite my favorite podcaster of all time. And then it used to be a Homespun House, but I know she went to Patreon, but I think she uploads a few. Hers are a non-negotiable for me. And I think that's really all that I watch religiously. I don't have a lot of time during this season. But this year I am wanting to carve out more time, more like just slow down, say no time. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. And I'm also kind of bummed that the dogs didn't come over here and try to get their little cameo. Rory, come here. Come here. Here they come. Come here. You want to say hi? Oh, we got to stretch first. Come here. Come here. This is, oh my goodness. Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is Rory. Yeah, say hi. And this is Remy. Oh, right in the mouth. Don't do that. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys for Vlogmas.